friends, Lorien Witch here with your monthly tarot card reading for your individual sign. This will be a brief snapshot of what's to come for most of you in your sun sign. It's also applicable for your rising sign and your moon sign. So watch those videos if you'd like a fuller picture of what seems to be coming up for you this month. I have picked up on messages the cards wish to give me for those who need to hear it. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't feel that you have a resonance with the messages, that's absolutely fine. Perhaps the messages this month don't really apply to you, or you could in fact look back on the month and actually see that they did have a purpose there. So whatever you feel like in these messages, don't worry. I do hope it does resonate with a fair few of you. It seems like it's going to be a majority for this month. And if you'd like me to look at something more in depth with you, please feel free to get in touch. You can book and purchase a personal reading with me on both my website and through Etsy. As usual, thank you so much for your kind comments, for your sharing, subscribing, and also your emails as well. I've met a lot of you through Facebook and Twitter, in addition to YouTube, and this really makes me happy connecting with you all. So I just wanted to let you know I am so glad that I'm able to connect with you this way, and that a lot of you do feel a resonance with the readings that I do for you. So without further ado, let's have a look at your sign's monthly reading. Hello dear Libra, thank you for tuning in for your September reading of 2015. I'm using a different deck today. It's the Chrysalis Tarot by Holly Sierra and Tony Brooks, and we also have the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer. Now the reason I'm using the Chrysalis Tarot is because it's wanted to be used for a few days now. It's been pestering me to use it for general readings and everything. So I thought, what better way to get to know the deck and introduce it to you all than by having a look at it through the monthly readings. So they are beautiful. They do carry different messages than the traditional tarot, so it'll be interesting to see exactly how this affects the outcome of the monthly readings. Now to start with, we have the Eight of Scrolls. So this actually seems like it is a very strong omen, really. I mean, the scrolls are the swords in traditional tarot. This is about dealing with conflict and illusions of the senses. It's not about feeling trapped, though. This, I feel, is just finding yourself caught up in whirlwind. You can't see the wood for the trees. In this instance, you can't see the golden key for the 1,000 of rusty keys that you've sent up in the air. So if you think about it in the scene in Harry Potter where he has to, the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, where he has to find the key with the broken wing, with the rest of the other keys that are flying around, it's kind of that. You have so many other thoughts to pay attention to. What's the one that really pops out at you that you really must give your undivided attention at this point in time? Well, in the first week of September. There's good news on its way, because this is actually a positive outcome for you. This is basically ripping apart the illusions, trying to set yourself apart from that, and then visualizing positive outcomes. So it may not come in the way that you anticipate, but basically this card means stop worrying. If you're able to, I mean, look, she's kind of using the energy of a crystal ball or even of the sun to try and understand the way things are working and which option that she has is the way forwards. This could be, for instance, if you were a writer and you weren't sure whether to go self-published or to go through traditional publishing and try an agent. So I think there are many options, or even if you wanted to, do it in a blog and release your story in a blog, that kind of thing. You're not sure which way to go. You're not sure which avenue is the right one for you. Others may be offering you some sage advice right now. The crystal ball is often a sage of, inner advice, inner knowledge. So you could actually begin to understand through other people, through the tools that you already use, to actually get the information that you need. So that is something I would say for you to consider, even if it hasn't been before. So it's always a sense that if you have some friend that always seems to know what's going on before it actually happens, try and talk to them about it. Because in the second week we have the Illusionist, which is traditionally the Knight of Pentacles. Now this is a mystic, or certainly somebody who has traditionally the book says this is an indigo child, and if you don't know what that is, I would look that up. I have been told that I'm an indigo child, and it's basically the dawn of kind of a generation of children, not everyone is one, who has a deep spirituality and basically is there to rip down tradition. It's there to provoke how you think of things. They're there to change the mould so that when the crystal children come in, who are healers, they have a lot easier transition. So we're kind of like the mercenaries that go in and kind of carve the paths away so that when the crystal children come in, they can kind of walk forwards. So I feel that if you're not an indigo child yourself, you may actually gain help of somebody like that in this second week. I feel that they are going to push you into action. So this isn't going to confuse you. They're going to clarify a lot of things for you. And if you're up for a risky, almost raw adventure, follow. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, I think, is the message of the Illusionist as far as I remember. So it's almost a sense of, do you want to see what mystic things you can create? Do you want to see what the single thing is that you need to worry about in your life, or that you can solve? I think in some sense you can go within yourself for that, but this seems to be somebody who is there to come and assist you. So I believe that this person is actually going to be very prominent in the second week of September for you. This is also a sense of learning, because in the third week we have the almost fantasy type element of this. So typically the scrolls means swords, but I would say this is a swift power, and also about facing difficult choices, trusting your instincts. Order your life, maintain that perspective that you have, because I think the dilemma you face could require a flight of fantasy. If you overthink things, typically, try not to. I'm a Libra rising, so I normally do overthink things quite a bit, but even you're a natural problem solver, and I think I may have told you that before. But I think that you need to kind of get in touch with your inner child. You do have flights of fancy. You really do. My mother's a Libra, so she typically has a little fantastical mind. The things that she comes up with sometimes are amazing. So I think you will have a natural problem solving ability here. There is a highest realm of wisdom that you can tap into. The horse is a very noble steed. The fact that it's got wings and a horn on the front doesn't actually take anything away from that. And I think, the solution to the problem is still a solution. The fact that it's a very strange and objective, way of handling that solution doesn't change the fact that the problem's solved. So I think this is really something that comes through for you in the third week. You get kind of a brainwave, and it might sound crazy when it happens or when you present it to somebody else, but just trust that. Just really trust the fact that you know what you're doing and how you want to do it, because it's going to get where you need to be. Now the spirals are normally the ones, and I think that this is more peace after the storm has passed. This is regathering, this is recharging. Your perspective has now, changed, I would say. It's also a good time to change the way that your house looks. It's also making sure that your environment looks the way you want it to. Sweep something away, enjoy the problem that has been solved now. Make sure that you are, observing this new world of possibilities, because I think the season is changing. A fresh challenge is on the horizon, but challenges do not represent problems. Challenges are basically something that you can really put your mind to and accomplish. They don't have to be problems unless you look upon them as problems. And with the lightning card here, the oracle card of power, you will have a lot of ability to do that. This is psychic power. This is not just the power to overcome certain elements. I would say that you are going to root through this maze of potential undoing. You know, if you have a lot of things that are on your mind, for instance, if you have bills, if you have work, if you have children, if you have a partner or family that may not be well, or if you feel like you're a bit under the weather, if you can't see a way forward, it's going to be clarified for you in this month, because Saturn actually changes on the 18th of September. It moves from Scorpio into Sagittarius, and I believe that's your third house. I'm not entirely sure, but I do believe it's your third house, and that with it will bring some discipline to certain areas. Okay, yeah, I've just double checked, and it is your third house. So you may feel like you need to restructure some things. It's how you socialize, how you network with people around you, how you process information. I think it's your skills, it's your mental communication. You may produce a lot of ideas. Again, it's the outlandish ideas here in the third week. Just when Saturn goes into Sagittarius in your third house, you start going, aha, I know, that's what I need to do. And that brings the sense of calmness just before October, just before the birthday month of Libra. So the power that you have coming in this lightning card is definitely something that I feel you can utilise for the better. It's something I believe you're going to get in the, I would say the second or third week of September, to be honest. You're going to be understanding how many things you have to deal with, but you're going to disseminate them, you're going to whittle them down, you're going to get some sage advice. If you're not an indigo child, I think you should seek out somebody like that. And also you're going to get the opportunity to really find and educate yourself in a new way. It may even be literal in education, because you do like learning, but your skills are going to be refined, and you're also going to be strengthening relationships with people that you may not have normally associated yourself with. So that's going to be quite good for you socially, intellectually stimulating, and also a different crowd of people seem to be coming through for you too. So I'm quite looking forward to reading for you in October. But in the meantime, if you do have any questions that you'd like me to look into for you, just order something from my personal website or my Etsy shop. As soon as I see you've ordered, I will actually get in touch with you and answer your questions. But the main messages from this: don't give up. And for some reason, the M People song Moving On Up is actually being played into my head right now. So if you don't know that song, please do look it up. The M People, Moving On Up. It's a song from the 90s, I think. Anyway, that's the theme song for your month. I might even have to start this, because it's the second time that I've actually got a theme song for a sign in a monthly reading. Okay, so I might have to start that. But anyway, do take care of yourself, Libra, and I do wish you the best of luck in what's actually to come for you in September.